Welcome to Flight Path, the podcast where we explore the journeys behind bold leadership, innovation, and impact. This is where we talk real career journeys, the bold moves and messy pivots, the plot twists that no one puts on LinkedIn, and the moments that changed everything. We're sitting down with leaders, innovators, and rule breakers who figured it out by doing the work, learning the lessons, and sometimes ignoring the map altogether. If you're navigating leadership, healthcare, tech, or just trying to figure out what's next without losing your mind, you're in the right place. So fasten your seatbelts, adjust your altitude, and let's take flight, because we're broadcasting live from Las Vegas at HIMSS 2026.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Flight Path by Bluebird Leaders. Today we have the famous Bevey Miner, head of healthcare strategy at Consensus/eFax. Right. So tell us what you do, and then we'll talk about your name change and rebranding and all of that.
Okay. So I manage strategy for the company, specifically focused on healthcare. We're broad, global, and other industries,
You guys are
but
huge.
but healthcare. I've been in the business. I'm not even going to say how many decades, but and then I also handle all the policy work, which is like a lot right now with a change in the administration. So that's what my role is.
Right. Yes, we've had you on a couple of panels with Helen Oshlovsky and who else? Mari from
Slavik from Chime.
Yep. Yes, we're talking all about policy and all the changes. It's just like you guys are the three top badasses for policy and healthcare.
We're not shy about what's going
No,
on
you're
with
not.
policy. I don't even care who the administration is.
Yeah,
But
I love it. Okay, so let's talk about name change. Today you have an eFax.
I do.
Branded shirt. Forever, you guys have been Consensus, as I've known you, ever since you had bought out another organization. Then that folded into
spun off
Consensus.
with our parent.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what's happening?
So, eFax has been around for 27 years. We're the largest digital cloud faxing solution. And it's send and receive all day long, right? I mean, it's the easiest high trust certified way that you can communicate in healthcare. You can send and you can have something received at the receiving end. I mean, interoperability is not a sending problem. It's a receiving problem. Watson didn't go, hey, can you hear me?
Right.
But we realized that there's this campaign and this attitude of axe the fax. We want to axe paper fax machines, but digital cloud faxing is not the problem.
Yeah, it's not going away.
It's not going to go away. It's going to continue to grow. And a lot of what I champion and my advocacy position is that if we try to move the whole industry to a FHIR standard, like overnight, it messes with health equity because there's so many providers that cannot support that kind of a strict data standard.
Right.
And about maybe 3 years ago or so, we recognized that there's more to digital cloud faxing than just send and receive. And that we need to facilitate the find piece. That's part of what CMS defines as interoperability. Send, receive, find, and integrate. And we started doing data extraction. We have gotten really good at it. And when you think about digital cloud faxing and all that unstructured data, and the fact that fax is not the problem, you modernize it. You have to create intelligence around it. The industry will still have this huge pile of unstructured data. It could be faxes or scanned images or PDFs. It's a huge pile of unstructured data. Much of what we see on the floor today is assuming that these vendors are getting structured data to do all of their magic, all their workflow. When you look at the efforts that even the CDC is doing to populate all of their registries with the latest ruling in electronic case reporting, all has to be FHIR. Well, what's supposed to happen to the substance abuse or the community clinic or the rural hospital?
Well, all the tribal
organizations,
rural health.
They can't populate FHIR. So what's going to happen? It's already going to be biased. The data's biased. And when you can't get a complete longitudinal view of a patient's record and it's missing critical pieces of information sitting in a pile of unstructured data, the providers are not as informed as they need to be to have the best delivery of care
Right.
and we're going to have worse health outcomes.
Right.
There's a lot of data architecture companies that are sitting on the floor. When I ask, well, what are you doing with all that unstructured data? Well, we have an OCR solution, right? Whenever I hear any vendor or even a hospital system or provider say, well, we have an OCR solution, we're like, do you understand the difference between optical character recognition and true enabled AI extraction? Is that optical character recognition knows that there's a B, an E, a V, an E, and a Y in my name. It doesn't even know that's a name. Mm-hmm. And if I accidentally put my birth date in as 1885, it'll say, oh, that's 100% accurate. But
Right.
there's no contextual intelligence that would say, might be 100% accurate, the patient would be dead.
Yeah.
So you have to have intelligent contextual extraction. Then once you have that and you've got all the structured data, we can support CCDA, we can support the US CDI V3 complete extraction data set. Now you can populate the receiving end with all the workflow, whatever has to be mapped or received without data entry. You can have more informed care, and you can have better health outcomes and better patient satisfaction too, because they get treatment from referrals and everything else.
A ton of it's
faster.
referrals, and then so many people still on so many different EHRs.
I know.
Believe it or not, even though the bulk of the world is on Epic and Cerner and Meditech, but there's so many others specialties that are still on a specialty EHR, and those need to flow into the hospitals or flow back, and so. You guys are a great solution for that.
Well, we are that
middle
bridge
person.
for
the bridge.
disparate systems or systems that still have so much unstructured data that they absolutely have to be able to get access to. So what we decided this year at HIMSS, when we started to see this big movement towards this universal attitude of axe the facts, that fax is the F word in healthcare.
Kind of is.
It is. It is. Nobody wants more faxing.
Yeah, no.
You don't want to say, I think SureScripts was handing out shirts that said, I love to fax, said nobody.
Okay, so I have a HIMSS photo back when I was CIO, and I was at some vendor booth. Maybe it was, no, I don't remember who it was. But you took a photo, and it was like, send the fax back to, like 1800s or like something.
Yeah.
Even then, it was like 10 years ago, people were still...
Or saying, you know what, this is just, it's old, it's stodgy, it's legacy. And, for us, it's a legacy solution that has been
Still
around
so
for a
important.
while, but we can't ignore it. We can't ignore, and not just facts. What we do is we can extract from any unstructured data.
Which is huge.
And that this year was the year to really elevate that message and to give fax some respectability, digital cloud fax, because so many systems, that's what they do. Send and receive all day long. And there's a nervousness within providers in the industry that they're going to have to rip and replace.
Right.
And there's no reason you should have to rip and replace. A lot of the rules that just recently came out of both ASTP and ONC are recognizing that there is extraction technology, and that extraction technology can find more patient data. So therefore, under feasibility, if you can extract the data, then you have to be able to send the patient's information. Otherwise, you're information blocking.
Yeah.
Because there is a feasibility to be able to do it. So I'm excited about what 2026 will hold for the respectability of digital cloud fax, but also the respectability and the understanding that intelligent extraction can just help me with all the piles of unstructured data I have if I'm a provider. Just look at document intake. Oh my gosh. I mean, clinics are constantly having people have to deal with just unstructured document intake, whether it's admissions or scheduling or whatever
Flipping
it might
through
be.
PDFs.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's change the subject to Bluebird.
Okay.
And how you have always been a huge supporter.
Oh, I
And you
am.
have some of the best women. Christine's over there listening in. Alyssa, huge supporter.
Yeah.
Of course, you have Barry, who's one of our male
Yes,
allies.
I
So
know.
why support Bluebird? What's the passion? Tell us.
Well, I mean, of course, I think about women in healthcare and that we are creating these really innovative ways that we think. Now, Bluebird is more than just the women in healthcare. because we do have a lot of male supporters.
Yeah.
But we really need to give recognition that some of the most interesting ways we're trying to fix this is through the women's lens. Whether you happen to be a woman that's part of a vendor community, whether you're a woman-owned company, or whether you're a woman caregiver.
Right.
Because we take care of kids, we take care of aging parents, we just know how broken the system is.
We do.
And it's not to say that our male counterparts aren't as innovative, but when we have a seat at the table, there is no shyness in really powerful women.
Right.
I mean,
I think when the table is just mixed up by all cultures, right?
it is.
just
And
allows so
we
much new
get
perspective.
everyone to sit back and say, well, have you thought of, or maybe
Right.
you should think about this.
Right.
I mean, I think it's Eleanor Roosevelt's quote that no well-behaving woman ever changed the world.
I like that one.
So
We get shit done, is that what you're saying?
We get shit done. Well, we need, we get shit done, but we have to have, obviously, the male counterparts. When
Yeah.
you look at this show, I don't know what the statistics are, but 60, 70% of, the backbone behind what runs health IT are males. And so not to even make it more about gender, but what you're doing and how successful you've been.
Thanks.
Oh my God, kudos to,
Thanks.
you can't have an
It's all the
organization like
supporters.
Bluebirds without a real visionary leader.
It's the community, though. That's
And
made it
I've
so
been around so
successful.
long supporting you. I remember
love
when we
it.
were a small group
Started,
of people
yes.
in round tables trying to
remember?
figure out what to do.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and now grown
Yeah.
to unbelievable
Yeah.
hundreds and hundreds of people that
Yeah.
are supporting what you
It's
do.
been really awesome. It's been really awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to pivot because you have spent a lot of time in healthcare IT. You're worked your way up to one of the top executives, but
Thank
you work hard. You also have a ton of fun.
I do.
And so you're an avid hiker and go on some just amazing trips. I want to come sometime. Although I'm a check bagger, so I'm not sure how I'm going to fit all my stuff like in your little eeny bitty backpack. And you go
backpack.
for like 12 days. I don't even know.
People will be going, why are you carrying this on a trail?
I don't even know how you do it. Okay, so tell us about one of your most memorable trips that you've done and why, and tell us some of the memories.
Well, so 2 years ago, I think it was, we had a group of women that we hike, but we hike mostly recreationally. Maybe did Half Dome. I've done the Grand Canyon. But we decided, let's do something really memorable. And let's hike Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa. So there were 3 of us that decided we wanted to do this. I mean, all the husbands were going, are you looking at this? You're going to 20,000 feet. Well, and it's Africa.
Yeah.
And slowly that group grew to 13 women.
Oh my God.
Because
that's
somebody knew somebody else that
Yeah.
wanted to do the hike and have the experience. And that's just shy of 20,000 feet. And it was grueling. It was, we sat around a table where we're breathing 50% less oxygen. Our brains are starting to go to fog.
Yeah.
We literally can't sleep. We have no appetite. And the medic is saying, well, your brain is shutting down so it can feed oxygen to your extremities. And I know it's only 10 degrees, but aren't you having fun? And we looked around the table and went, we're paying for this? Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
paying thousands.
Really, what we realized is that, hiking, you can use it as a metaphor for just life's journey.
Yeah.
That it's about the journey. It's not about reaching the peaks of the world. So last year we decided, because we skip a year, because it takes a while to plan these trips.
Yeah.
Last year we decided we're going to hike the Himalayas.
Okay.
We didn't go anywhere near Everest, because again, that's kind of a peak of the world. And we just knew we wanted to experience culture.
Yeah.
And we wanted to be about the journey and the memories. So we did the Himalayas and hiked back to an area called the Forbidden City that's near the Tibet border. And at one point we were at a 14,000 pass, so it was still high.
high.
But we stayed in tea houses. We lived like the small villagers did. We were in Buddhist monasteries. We meditated with the monks.
Oh.
It was just, and the
Very zen.
Himalayas is some of the most beautiful Mother Nature can offer. The tectonic plates that shifted and the mountains. Nepal boasts the 7 largest mountains in the world.
Yep.
And just the views were phenomenal. So next year, I think we might be doing Borneo,
Okay.
which is about a 14,000 foot mountain in Malaysia. although 90% humidity, and we have to watch for leeches.
Okay. Watch for what? Leeches?
Leeches.
Oh, okay. Well, your hair will curl. You won't have to bring it
I
down.
won't have to worry about it. You're right. I could just let it all go natural, right? Right.
I love that.
And you know, there's been some studies that have come out that when women travel with other women and get out of our comfort level, we have an oxytocin way of bonding that you just don't do unless it's women pushing other women. And again, I hate to come back to the gender thing, but it's really about a bond and a camaraderie that we all have for each other that I'm so glad it won't end. I might be up there on my walker going,
my
wait
God,
for
I
me.
I just spent 2.5 days in Aruba for a wedding, but I spent it in my plus one was one of my best friends, also CEO and entrepreneur. And so we're going to do it every year. I mean, we just got so
Right.
much from each other, like not planning to talk shop, but still like strategizing because you get each other.
You
Right?
do. You do.
Yeah. And that's one thing why I created Bluebird is it's that community, but we don't have to like start with the weather or any of like this
No.
awkward talk because we're all in healthcare IT. So it's like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I get you. Because when I talk to people outside, they're like, I don't really get what you do. And I'm like, it's just a harder conversation.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, it truly is. And I honestly think that you and I at a cocktail reception where nobody comes from healthcare IT, they will get us.
Right.
Because we know how to turn that conversation to, hey, you're a patient. Did you
Right.
know?
Right.
You're a mother and you care for your children. Did you know this? And this is what's happening behind the scenes to make healthcare safer and better for you. And then I might be talking to 2 people. Before you know it, I have like 6 or 7 people around me. It's like, and some of them are like, wow, you're like really changing the world.
I love it.
It's one little baby step after another. The American healthcare
one eFax
system.
at a time.
One fax at a time. We could be doing this for a while, but that's a good slogan.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on Flight Path and
You're
meeting us at
welcome.
HIMSS and supporting Bluebird Leaders. We really
I
appreciate it.
always will. You're such a fabulous organization.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Rebecca.
Love you, Bevey.